Hello everyone, welcome to the changelog from Directus for February. I'm Beth and we have a really great show for you coming up. We've got a product update from James, an AI update from Brian, I'm around with a brand new community program to get involved with, and we have a fresh 1 app 10-minute episode with some brand new Directus faces, so do stick around if you can. Whether you are joining us for the first time or you are a regular, hi, hello, thank you for spending some time with us. And without further ado, let's kick it off with James and a product update for you.
Hey, this is James from Directus, and I'm going to take you through some of the highlights in the 11.15 release. Now, first up, our AI assistant is now in GA, and it is coming with some very tasty updates. We've added multi-provider support with Google and OpenAI compatible providers. So now you can use our AI assistant with Olama, Mistral AI, extending on prior support for exclusively Anthropic and OpenAI. We've also made the AI assistant native across all of the interfaces in the Directus Studio, meaning you can even use the AI assistant in the visual editor now. Now, with new power comes new responsibility, and to use this feature, you will need to update the Directus visual editing library to v1.2.0 plus on your website. We've also added a new deployments module inside Directus. This allows you to connect your Directus instance with Vercel to centrally manage deployments, monitor build status, and control your front-end projects, all without leaving Directus. We've added support for Vercel first, but Netlify and others are sure to come soon. Let's have a look at how it works. You'll find the deployments module inside the settings, and you'll need to enable this first. Once you've enabled that, you're going to get the deployments module in the sidebar of Directus. Let's take a look. Let's have a go at configuring Vercel. What you'll need is your personal access token from Vercel, and here's one I have from earlier. Once you add that, you'll see the projects listed from your Vercel account. You can choose to bring one or more of these into Directus. So let's bring in a couple. Now you'll see the projects listed in the project listing, and if we click into one of these, we're able to hit deploy and start building our site from inside Directus. So let's assume that we've made some content changes. Perhaps we've updated, the price of an item on our website. And as a result, we need our site on Vercel to be rebuilt. So I'd come into the deployments module after making that content change, and I'd hit deploy. Now, the other great thing here is we can monitor the deployment status as that is building. So in case that fails, I'm going to be able to see the reasons for the site failing. And when it's successful, I'm actually going to have the link up at the top right to be able to visit the end result. So we'll just give that a second while it's building. Awesome. Now I can see the status is ready. And if I hit refresh, I'm going to see this link up here, which allows me to visit the end result. Now, if I come back into here, I can go back and I can see the deployment listing. Now, one thing to call out is you're only going to see deployments triggered from Directus inside the listing today. So all of your deployments made from Vercel will not appear here at the moment. One last call out is at the moment, the deployments module is only accessible for admins. However, we do plan to add RBAC support so you can open this up to more users in the next release. We've also brought collaborative editing into core. Now, this was previously built as an extension, but we wanted to bring it into core to make some performance improvements, reduce the amount of setup, and make sure that this is a native capability. Now, under the hood, this runs on WebSocket connections for real-time sync, so you do need to have this enabled on your project. It also plugs into the existing Directus permissions, so users can only collaborate on records they have access to. Let's have a look at how to enable this in 11.15. You'll find this new setting in the project settings in your Directus instance. And once enabled, this will enable the real-time sync. So let's take a look at a record in our content space. We've got a collection of products, and let's assume that two people are working on the denim jacket. And I will there we go. We can see that both myself, James, and Michael Matthews are now working inside the product dataset. Now let's assume that somebody is working inside a specific field. You'll see that that field lock comes into play, and that stops people overwriting each other's changes. So that's collaborative editing, and that's now available in the core. Now, we've also made some improvements to how you can view revisions inside the studio. So let's assume that we're updating the price of our denim jacket. And let's come back in to look at the revisions. Now, previously, when you viewed a revision, we were always comparing the revision you open to the latest revision of that item. But we've made some changes to make this a little bit more intuitive. So if I update my latest revision, you'll see I have that revision on the right-hand side, and I'm always comparing it to the previous revision now, so that we can see the granular change from 100.99 to 50.99 in this case. Now, we've also maintained some flexibility for you to compare a previous revision, let's choose a much older one, and see how that currently compares to the latest revision. Now, this is advantageous in the case of a restoration, in case you wanted to restore an older version, but you want to understand exactly what it's going to update on the latest version of that item. So you just toggle this pill and you can switch between what you're comparing inside the revisions comparison modal. So we've been through all of the main items inside the 11.15 release, but as usual, you can go to the release notes on GitHub if you want to view every granular change that got made inside 11.15.
Hey guys, Brian here, and I'm going to showcase some of the exciting new features we shipped to the AI Assistant in v11.15. All right, first and foremost, it's an absolute banger. Not only can you now use the visual editor right alongside the form inside the live preview pane, but I can use the AI Assistant right alongside the visual editor. I just click the magic AI button here, and now the AI Assistant has this visual editor element into our context, and we'll just ask it to, let's punch up the copy a bit for this headline. Cool. So it understands where that is at on the page, what's going on, and now we can see once we approve that tool call, that gets updated in line. All right, that's just the start, right? That is a heavy hitter in this case. You can also add context to the AI Assistant now. So I can update pages that I'm not currently on. Let's say I've got this test page. Please update the slug and title for the test page to /about, right? And because we are injecting that into the context, it knows what page to update. And if we just go back to our pages list, we could see now that is updated. Last but not least, you can also reuse the AI prompts, those templated prompts from the MCP. So if you go to your AI settings, make sure that the MCP is enabled and that you've got the AI prompts collection, and then you can reuse these prompts over and over again. So if there are dynamic variables, Directus will ask you to fill those out, or if you don't have any variables, you could just do this and say, hey, tell me a nice dad joke. All right, we'll see what it comes up with. Guy walks into a library, books about paranoia. She whispered, they're right behind you. Perfect. All right, now on to some of the other items that you guys asked for, and I wanted to make sure that we delivered here. So now you can also control which models for the three major providers, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google, so you can lock those down. The other big rock out of this release is going to be the OpenAI compatible provider. So as long as you have an endpoint that is OpenAI compatible, you can now go in here and set your base URL, add your API keys. You could set up your different models. Make sure you include the context limit, the output limit. You can also pass custom provider options if needed. And then you can use Ollama or any other self-hosted models, any other OpenAI compatible models. Let's say, hey, from Ollama. And this might be just a little bit slow because my MacBook is absolutely screaming at me right now. We'll fast forward. All right. So now you can see that we've got the text back. Your mileage is going to vary with the self-hosted models, but if you've got Azure, OpenAI, or some other OpenAI compatible endpoint that you're using, this is a great solution for you. And as always, keep the feedback coming. We love to iterate on these features, and we want to deliver real value instead of just the usual AI hype. That's it for me. Back to you, Beth.
I'm here to talk through a brand new community program we're launching called Directus Builders. Builders is a community champion program for people who use Directus, want to share what they're building, and contribute to the community. Whether you're interested in sharing technical insights and receiving amplification from our social channels, joining a network of other Directus users, or getting our support for your own community initiatives, this program is for you if you are using Directus to build. By joining, you'll enter a private community with other experienced builders and our team. It's open to contributors, customers, partners, users, really anyone who uses Directus to build something useful. You don't need to be building something huge, you just need to be building something real. If you're the kind of person who likes helping others figure things out, sharing what you've been learning, or creating something cool, we want to hear from you. Applications to join the first cohort are now open. If you've got any questions, or you have an idea that you think might work as part of this program, we're all ears, we want to hear it. There's a couple of ways you can get in touch with us. Submit via the application form, send an email to devrel@directus.io, or post on the community forum. All of those work, and we can get talking from there. We're really excited about launching this program. We hope you will also share the excitement and want to join. And we're really looking to shape the future of the program collaboratively with the builders into something that works for everyone. So if you do have ideas, thoughts, questions, please do let us know.
All right, viewers, welcome to yet another episode of 100 app, 100, one app in 10 minutes, right? We are doing the remix version today where we have 10 minutes to build and plan and build an amazing app, clone, crazy suggestion, and I have no idea what we're going to do. So the rules, right? 10 minutes to plan and build, no more, no less. How we're going to do that, we are going to use some amazing tools that we have built into Directus. And then rule number 2, the anti-rule. Use whatever you've got at your disposal. Today, I've got 2 awesome dudes at my disposal, Mr. Alvaro and Mark from our team here at Directus. No strangers to the Vue community. Welcome to the show, gents.
Thanks for having us, Brian.
Thank you very much
excited
for the nice intro. Happy to be here.
Yeah. No, I super excited. Have you guys given any thought to what we're going to build?
I think Mark has some idea though.
Yeah. So yesterday we talked a little bit. I talked with Alvaro what we could build, and I don't know if I showed it to you, Brian, but on my website I have a instead of New Year's resolutions, I have New Year's bingo cards. So you have 5x5 grid of stuff I want to do in the year. And if I get at least one in a row, so diagonal or horizontal or vertical, I already have bingo and it's a success. So I don't have to do all of them. And if you go to mark.dev/bingo.
Okay, let's check it out, guys.
You can. It's still, since it's just, well, now February, not a lot has happened there, but
it's a really nice way to actually do some of the New Year's resolution. I always get depressed at the end of the year, like I have done like a quarter of them.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so this is neat, man.
And each of them can be either like you did it or you didn't do it, or it can be progressive, like read 6 books and you are like 1 book, 2 books, 3 books in. And I think I also have like subtasks, if we can make that work. Like if one one, let's say one bingo item has a few sub items as well. Like, don't have an example now, but that would also be cool.
Gotcha. Okay. New Year's resolution. Bingo card generator. All right. That's what we're doing. This is going to be amazing. This should be fun. What color are you guys feeling? Purple, pink?
I
Yellow
got
or-
purple, blue.
or purple.
Purple. There we go.
Directus purple. Nice.
Directus purple. All right, guys. All right, so I'm sure you've seen this show. We're going to start the clock. We've got 10 minutes to plan and build this thing. Let's do it. All right, so the first thing I usually do here is cover requirements, right? So what are the requirements we need out of this, right? We need to generate bingo cards. Like, what were you calling those?
Like items probably, or
Okay.
goals. Yeah, items.
Yeah, like a
goals.
grid of items.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we got some goals. Those are, what kind of fields are you tracking on those? Just the name of the goal.
Well, yeah, a name, description, and then the status,
Status of the
or
goal.
the progress.
Progress. Is the status and progress interchangeable?
Yeah, I guess if you like, if the progress is under %, the status.
Ah,
would be,
okay.
so-
Yeah. Got it. Okay. And then we've got, if you got goals, you got, what, items underneath the goals? What do we want, like, subtasks?
Yeah,
Like, if it's...
you can have subtasks. Let's see if there's one that has subtasks. I don't remember.
Tasks. Let's call it tasks. All right,
So that
tasks
the
are
tasks would
related
play
to,
into progress as well, I guess.
related to a
okay.
goal. And then the task completed increases progress. Cool. All right, and task needs what? Name, description? No, just
Yeah.
name, date, probably.
Maybe
Completed.
the item can have a completed ad. Yeah, date completed as well for the task for the item on top. Yeah.
All right, and then we want to try to get a front end set up for this as well.
Yeah.
All right, and we need a front end to display the bingo cards. All right, this could be a stretch in 7 minutes now. Let's see how we
Let's
do.
try it.
All right. So what are we using today, right? We've got a blank Directus project. We've got Claude code over here. Let's dive into it, right? I'm not sure what you guys have been coding with. I've been using Super Whisper. I dig it.
I haven't used
All right,
it.
guys. We are building a New Year's resolution bingo card generator. I'm going to copy and paste the data model that we want. You have access to a Directus instance. I want you to create our schema for that. We're also going to be building a front end to display the bingo cards. Let me know what questions you have. Let's create a plan. All right. So this is crunching the transcript for that right now. Cool. There we go. I'll just copy and paste this. Hopefully we'll get something good out of it. And we're going to ask Claude Code to plan. All right, so now we've got the schema. So we've got the Directus MCP connected to this thing. And I think you guys have had a chance to try this out already, right?
Yeah, I think
I like it.
Avro has. I haven't.
Yeah, play with it in the morning. It's gonna create the collections, the schemas for you.
Yeah. All right, so it's got a fresh direction, no custom collections. All right. And I can zoom in just a little bit more so we can see this. What is the plan? And this is probably one of my favorite parts about this thing, where it will prompt you for questions. Directus flow, that's what we want to do there. Vanilla JS. Yeah, that's what we'll do. What do you guys think? 5x5 grid, 4x4?
Yeah, we can do also 4x4, so we don't have to come
Okay.
up with 25 things.
Amazing, right? We got 5 minutes
you,
left.
You can say to the MCP, hey, Cloud, get your 2026 bingo
Oh, that would be
resolutions.
cool.
Yeah. All right. Public read, that's fine. Anyone can view those. Cool. All right, and now hopefully this thing should have a plan.
I wonder
That it
which
can-
resolutions Cloud Code could have.
I don't know. Let's we'll spin that up in a
Let's
new.
find out.
All right. Cool. Right. Here's the Directus schema. There's our. It's going to create a flow. It's going to create the front end. Sounds good. Let's roll with it. Right. I don't know what we're actually doing other than just talking this through here, but I'm curious to see just how this thing works. I've, of course, like spent a ton of time testing and building the MCP, but I've not spent a ton of time using it with the latest Opus 4.5 model. All right, so it is check the existing schema. Now we are, it should start implementing. Yes. Please just start jamming on here. And if I refresh now, we should see some collections start to come in to the Directus instance. We should see some collections start to come into the Directus instance. There we go. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Nice.
I was worried that I did something wrong. So we've got our goals, we've got our tasks. Amazing, right? Now I could go in, we could potentially create some new ones if we need. One of the things that I like about this is it seems like the Anthropic models do a better job of like actually putting together a cohesive form than like the OpenAI ones. So it's going through creating relations and fields. All right, guys. So in this other one, create some New Year's resolutions for yourself, Claude. All right. You guys have any more guidance for this thing?
Yeah. They should
I don't-
follow the SMART principle, probably.
Follow the SMART principle. What's the SMART principle?
Now you got me. So it's
It's like
should be measurable,
actionable.
achievable.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah,
The SMART
yeah.
goals.
Yeah.
Kinda.
And include them, add them to the goals and tasks inside.
For me, the most important one is always measurable. You have to be able to measure what you do. If not, you lose yourself.
You lose yourself. That's so poetic.
That is very poetic. I love it, man. All right, so it looks like, okay, yeah, I was just making sure we've got the relationship created correctly there. All right, it is going to, so we got 2 Claudes going. We got 2 minutes here. Let's see, I can see their goals and tasks. All right.
This is 10x development, man. Right.
This
right
is
in front of
10x
the
development. Yeah. This thing is going to, I need to enter YOLO mode so we can actually have this thing not stop to do these calls. But behind the scenes, right, it is building this progress calculator flow. And flows are a nice piece of functionality. It can be a little time consuming to set up like complex flows via the UI. So having Directus put these together is definitely time saving, right? That's probably like 5-10 steps there. Yes, create those items. All right, let's see what we've got. Are we going to get to the front end for this thing? I don't know if we are, man. I
1
should
minute
have
left, Bryant.
Should have had Claude do that first. It's connecting the operations. Claude, you need to go faster, my friend. All right. So what are the goals that Claude set for itself This should be interesting.
Put the descriptions even.
Oh,
Reduce average response latency by 20%. Achieve 95% task completion rate without clarification. What an interesting goal, right? Here's the individual tasks, and
And now it's doing
HTML.
the front end.
Now it's doing it. Oh no. Let me open this test project up. Is it going to have enough time? Yes, proceed. New Year's resolution bingo. Oh no. We ran out of time. It's so close. MCP connection should have access. No need to set up. I think, this was so close, guys. I'm just going to, it's against the rules, but you know what? We can make up our own rules here. I am just going to give access here to see and see if this will actually fetch. Of course, there it is, man. The API permissions got us. We can see the bingo card here. There's the individual tasks. 10 minutes, full working back end with permissions. So close to a working front end.
Pretty cool.
This is very cool, right?
Even with the subtask, because that was an extra thing. Like now it's only iteration. Like put a progress in the front end and.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see. Right, it's already got. It looks like it maybe. Did it miss some of the flows? Right, so the thing to take away here is obviously like you could build incredibly quickly with Directus and MCP, and this is not loading. Probably because of my computer just hates running all these Docker containers locally. What is going on?
How many do you have?
There's probably like 5 or 10 running at the moment, like different instances. And I'm sure if I like killed the camera, it would probably stop doing this. I don't know what's going on here. Localhost 8055. I at least want to end this episode on a high note and show something. Come on. All right, so we can see the flows. It actually connected the flows. So I'm just curious, just wanting to see, right? Build a mastering 5 new programming frameworks. Let's say we completed this right now. Does this flow actually work? And
so
update
it should increase the progress of the task, of the goal.
It should. And of course, doing a hard refresh here is not a great idea. All right, well, gents, I'm not sure whether to put a thumbs up stamp on this one or a thumbs down stamp. So we can just do, I think, because this was we got most of the functionality
your
there.
Computer died.
We just didn't get the front end all the way there.
Oh, Brian, you are lagging quite.
Of course it did.
I think you get a thumbs up, Brian, because we got a working thing at the end, and you had the grid showing everything with the progress. So I think you get a thumbs up.
Yeah. All right, guys. My computer is struggling, so we are going to sign off for this episode. Mark, Alvaro, I've heard a little rumor that there might be a podcast coming up, so I'm super excited for that. Thanks for joining me for this episode of One App in 10 Minutes.
We want to take a moment towards the end of the changelog for thanking our amazing community contributors who give their time to improve the Directus project. In January, we had 14 contributors, and so we'd like to say a huge thank you to Oscar for removing the deprecated webhooks functionality across the stack, Abdullah for removing the comment tab from the activities page, Thomas for adding concurrency control for file uploads via a new files max upload concurrency environment variable, Kiki for fixing an issue that would cause some drawer header icons from being displayed too large, Pankaj for fixing incorrect initial slider fill position when the midpoint is not a valid stepped value, and for fixing Markdown editor layout when a minimum input height is applied, VDR for fixing sticky column background in many-to-many list interface, Fan for improving system permissions collection picker to support easier multi-selection, Tai for replacing the local use local storage composable with the view use equivalent, Daniel for disabling text highlighting for draggable view elements in Chrome and Firefox, Clint for fixing permission cache to respect cache system TTL, Bruno for fixing conversion of fields from object notation to dot syntax in SDK subscription queries, Arthur for fixing an issue where the Supabase storage driver would fail if the root folder is the empty string, and Joseph for adding support for specifying a KMS key ID in S3 storage when using AWS KMS server-side encryption. Thank you again to these individuals. You can see their specific pull requests inside of the full release notes on GitHub. Lastly, we also want to take the time to thank our GitHub sponsors of January who financially contribute to Directus' development. Thank you to Wayfan, Mike, Fergus, Omar, Marcus, Mission Control, Utomic, Stephen, James, Manuel, Andreas, John, Burb, Adam, Jason, Yuya, Valentino, Jens, and Wayne. The money we are given from our GitHub sponsors goes straight back to community members who build tooling and extensions for the Directus ecosystem. Thank you again for being part of that. Alright, that is it for this month's changelog. If you are still here, still watching, thank you very much for spending the time with us. If you have any questions, head on over to the Directus forum. Have a great rest of your day,